Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Oh, welcome to my channel! Today we are doing some more projects using 12 by 12 paper pads. This time we're cutting them into 3-inch wide strips, and some of the ideas use 4-inch wide strips. And I've already gone ahead and cut the papers up so that I've got them ready to go, and we can just get started with our making. Let's start with the first idea, which I've done a couple, I've played around with this idea. So I've got some samples from various paper pads. So this is basically what we're gonna do. You've got a 3-inch wide strip, and hopefully the lawnmower someone's got going isn't making too much noise for you. And we are going to, I'm going to use my scoreboard just because this is a little bit thicker scrapbook paper. This is a 49 and Market paper pad. Trying to decide, because we're going to fold, but then that butterfly is going to be upside down. I think I'm rethinking using this one for this idea, just because I would kind of like to do something that keeps that image intact and right side up. So let's swap. Let's do this piece, and what we're going to do is we're going to score at 7.5 inches. And then we're going to fold that piece down. Use this one. Then what we're going to do is fold this side over to create a tuck spot. And yeah, this is a little on the thick side for doing this, but we're just basically taking it over to the edge and folding wherever that fold is. So we've got it like so, and let me move this out of the way so we can finish this guy up. Let me grab a dauber and some ink because I want to ink some edges, because we're getting a little bit of cracking over here, not too bad. And we've got some whitish bits showing, so I'm gonna grab peacock feathers, and we're gonna ink all of our edges. What we are going to do now is we are going to take our glue. We are going to apply glue along here, and that will turn this into a tuck spot. Take some random bit, something, and tuck it up, a little something, and tuck it up inside there. Now, on my sample one, where did my sample ones go? On these, I put writing paper here. I kind of like that, so I think we're going to do something a little different. And then a torn piece of paper on the back to create a tuck spot. This one, you can see I liked this on the bottom, so I did just some paper up here. That's full page paper. That's blank on the back, and that one's blank on the back. And I think I'm going to do for the back of this one. All right. Let's do what I want to do for the writing spot, which is a little bit different. Let's do a couple pieces of paper. Let's go ahead and use 3 pieces, and I'm going to grab, that's the right width, yes, my tiny attacher. staples in. And then I'm going to grab, got the branding strips from this paper. Let's take a look at these guys, because what we're going to do, let's grab our glue. But this way you've got writing space. Got a couple pieces, but you can still flip up and see the pretty flowers at the bottom. So that's squished down good. Now I can do something on the back. Kind of wondering, do I want to use a branding strip as a very shallow tuck spot? Or do I want to take a piece of paper and use that? I'm thinking I may want to hold off a little bit and see what else we get scrap-wise. Although, wait, do I have a scrap of that on my desk somewhere? I might. Let me see if I've got a scrap already that we can use to create some kind of tuck spot on the back, because I had some scraps from the last video. All right, so these are all the scraps I have. I think we'll use that, and what we'll do is grab our tearing ruler and tear this edge off to give it an interesting edge. All right, let's ink our edges again. All right, let's mark it where we need to cut. I'm right now not remembering if I mentioned that this was an idea from Corey Dahmer. I'll leave a link to her YouTube channel down below. Because yeah, I got these ideas from her, I don't know how long ago, probably 2 years ago. So I don't know how easy it'll be for me to find the video and link the video. If I can find that, I'll link the video. If not, I'll just link her channel. I did not cut that off exactly in the right spot, and we've got glue everywhere. That's always fun. All right. Now this, of course, is a great spot for doing some decorating, but I think what we're going to do today is focus on just getting the ideas finished. And I'll decorate them at some point in the future. So there's idea 1, and what you do is it goes, just sits over a page like that, and you know, you can put a decorative paper clip to hold it in place. So it goes on like so. You could also tuck it into a pocket and just have it in a pocket like that, and then it comes out and you've got this spot with a tuck and writing space, and then a tuck spot all along the back. There's idea number 1 done. Set that aside. All right, so we're going to use this one for idea number 2, which is to create a piece like this with a little pocket right there. So let's grab out our scoreboard again and do all of our scoring. So we are going to score at 10 3/4 to create our little fold over flap. Then at 4 7/8. And 3 5/8. Now the 3 5/8 is 1 tick mark past the 3 1/2, and the 4 7/8 is 1 tick mark before the 5. And so we're gonna do that, and then this one folds down, and then this folds down as our flap. And this is another Corey Dahmer idea, and she did a policy closure. So let's do that. Since we've got some scrap pieces we can cut circles out of. I think this would be nice contrast. Let's do that. Let's grab our 1-inch circle punch. Yeah, let's do 1 inch. And I've grabbed a scrap piece of paper and my 1/2 inch punch, and I'm gonna punch out a couple . Let's do 2 more. And what we're gonna do is we're going to glue 3 of the smaller ones together. And this is just creating space for the twine we're going to use for our policy closure. Now, I know Margaret does this same basic idea using hole reinforcers, and if I had some die cut out of cardstock, I would have used that, but I did not feel like going and die cutting. So we're just gonna use solid circles. Now we are gonna round the top corners, ink all of our edges. Now we're going to glue along this side and this side just up to our fold line, and do that. And that folds down, and we've got the pocket. And now let's add our policy closure. I'm going to need a hole punch. Do my heavy duty guy. I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to be able to do this. This is going to be difficult. All right, we're going to use the other one. Actually, I think what I might do is for these is grab my awl that I use for my sewing in signatures, and just do that. I'm gonna put that in there, and I probably could have gotten away with 2. 2 is feeling too flimsy. I put a 3rd, and 3rd seems a little thick, but it's too late now. So do that. Our brad goes through. And I will probably stick something, maybe like a die cut butterfly, to cover up the brad legs. But now we've got plenty of room underneath here for our twine. Let's do the same thing on this one. just working the all through. And then it's gonna go there. Hold that in place. Poke the hole through. Pop in our brad. Again, I'll just put something decorative over the brad legs so that you don't see them. And then we're gonna grab a little twine. Go like so. Okay, a knot. Do a second knot. Then wrap it around a couple times. We can trim off that extra in a sec. And then cut that there. And so that is our next idea. And then it folds down like that. Yeah, definitely going to do some decorating to cover that up. We'll see how long this video gets and decide if we're going to decorate in this video or not. So that's idea number 2. All right, so I grabbed another 3-inch wide piece, and as I'm looking at this one, I'm like, there's a variation to be had on this. And I just think I need to do a bit of quick math. All right, we're gonna start with the score I know we're gonna do, which is at 10 3/4. Then we are going to score at the 4 7/8 because that's going to get us our flip over so it works. And then I think we're going to score at let's score at 4 3/8, so a 1/2 inch apart. And what we are going to do is decide what we want on our outside. Yes, I like that idea for the outside. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna score all of our lines. We are going to round the corners on the bottom because this is now going to be the bottom instead of the top like we did in the last one. We are gonna grab some writing paper. Is this narrow enough to fit? Yes. Look at that, that works out good. Let's grab our tearing ruler again. I don't want to have both edges torn, so let's do this. And this is just some coffee dyed loose leaf. Well, that didn't quite work out as planned, but it'll be all right. Now we're going to flip it over. I'm gonna tear the bottom. Come on. I think I want another piece. Let's do another strip off of here. Oh look, I accidentally got some stamping on the back of that. That's fine. It's fine. Then what we're going to do is find our piece again. And we are going to put a little bit of glue on here. Not that side, because I've got a straight edge up here. Did I glue that so the straight edge was down there? I did. Dope. I'm not gonna worry about it. Then we're gonna glue this down. And I should have done the paper shorter. We should be all right. If we need to, I think we can tear it off. Some serious dog snoring in the background. We're just gonna glue up to the start of the curve. Let's put that down. And then we can tuck our papers in. Oops, that was not dry yet. And it got mad at me. Let's put a clamp on that for a minute. Clamp there. And a clamp there. And we can tuck those pages in. Okay, I think I'm gonna tear those off. I think they're too long. It's just gonna be cumbersome. So let's go ahead and tear the bottoms off of those pages. Go. And then this piece can tuck in under there like that. All right, I think I glued a little too high on the one side. So I'm gonna take, where did it go? My little metal spatula. And you can pry things open a little bit. So there, it goes like that. You've got a piece that you can glue on a page or stick in a pocket with a hidden writing spot in it. And you've got a little notepad. Kind of like how that came out. I am happy with that. All right, definitely need some decorating and probably some inking. I need to figure out what color I want to ink with though. I'm not entirely sure for that one. All right, so there's a variation that we came up with on the spot. Okay, so the next one is a variation on the last one, kind of, sort of, that I came up with. And so we're gonna take our piece of paper. We are going to not grab that, but our scoring board. We're gonna score at 6 inches. We are gonna fold it this way. And crease that down good. Then we're gonna take our bottom corner and bring it up. And then we're gonna take this corner and wrap it around. And what we'll do is, we'll do some gluing here in a minute, it goes over the page like that, and you can glue just along this edge to glue it down, and then you've got a tuck spot here, and then you've got a pocket and a tuck spot here. This one I actually think, because of the butterfly is directional, we'll do it this way so that it can be a pocket with a tuck spot. So what we're gonna do is grab a pink dauber and our Kitsch Flamingo pink and ink our edges, because we did get some cracking. This is some more of the 49 in Market, which is a fairly thick cardstock, like not super thick, but thick enough that it tends to crack a little when you fold it. It does not love all of the folding necessarily. And this is definitely one of those projects, like all of the things we did, where you can mass make. If you're cutting 3-inch strips off of a piece of 12 by 12, you're going to get, you know, 4 pieces. And then we got a couple ideas where we're using 4 by 4 strips or 4-inch wide strips, and you'll get 3 of those. So this is definitely a good mass make type project. So what we are going to do is we're going to glue this pocket closed. And I should have put glue down here. It would have been easier if I had done that before I glued the other side, or when I was gluing the other side. Then to create this tuck spot, we're going to glue on this side of the fold. There we go. So this one would go onto a page like so. And what we'll do, actually this one is light enough that you could probably leave it plain, but you can have journaling space here. So like this you could journal right over, so it doesn't need anything. And then on this side, if it gets glued on just along here, this can be a tuck spot. So there, and it flips out so that you can have journaling behind, and you've got a pocket and a tuck spot there. All right, so the next trio we're gonna do is this collection, and it stems from, this was an idea I got from Melina, and it's one of her M Scrap Busters. And basically what you do is this piece gets glued on a page like so. And this is actually take 2 of this one because I thought I was recording and wasn't. And then it folds out and you've got all the little pockets. Let me grab something. So you've got a pocket here and a tuck spot here. And a pocket over here, and a pocket here, and then you glue this down as a pocket here, and then this one's got a pocket as well. And then to get those pockets, we're taking other strips, and we're going to do this guy, which goes around the page like so. And so you've got tuck spot here. You can glue this piece on as a pocket here. You can glue this one on as a pocket and a tuck spot, or you could do it so that this piece flips out and you can put another pocket here or space for journaling, whatever you want. But there's that idea. And then this one, which would go on the page like so and glue down as a little tuck spot. And then you've got this little pocket as a flip out. So you got a pocket like that. So we're gonna make these 3, and the pieces we cut off from these 2, we will use for making our pockets on this one. So what we're gonna do is grab our scoreboard. and score all 3 pieces at 3, 6, and 9. Now, if you don't have double-sided paper, if you've got single-sided, you can use that for these as well. You'll just want to either ink or decorate the white side, since it'll show, but for... All right, now let's take a look and decide which one we want as our one like this, where we've got the piece that goes on the page, and I'm thinking that I like that. So let's go ahead and notch that right off the bat. So I know that's the one that's going like, it's going to get folded up like this, and this is going to go on my page. So what we also need to do is take a sliver off the edge of this guy so that it'll fold in neatly. So we fold that over. Then we may need to adjust the second fold a little bit so that it fits. So I'm just kind of pushing it this way, and then we'll grab my bone folder and kind of go like that, just so we make sure it stays to this side of our fold line so that it'll actually fold over like so. Got that one. Let's reinforce this fold over here. And then we're going to set this one aside until we get all of our pockets together. Then we need to decide which one do we want to do this for. We've got this one and this one. And I'm kind of thinking if we cut off this section, we can fold that over, and that would be nice. And then, yeah, okay, so I think that's what we're going to do. So for this one, we're going to cut off this piece. I'm just folding it over the edge there to make sure I've got that piece taken off. Then we are going to do an angle cut. So we are going to cut from this bottom corner up to our fold line, which is going to be kind of hard for you to see. Let's do this. Let's fold this so that it's reinforced and ink. Big brother board. Let's try that. Yeah, that works. So if we, what are we cutting? We're cutting this piece. So I inked that folded edge, so it will hopefully show up a little bit better when we go to trim it. So we're going to cut from this corner to that corner, or we could do it as an up tuck and cut from that corner to that corner. Actually, I think I kind of like that better as to what's getting cut off and what's staying behind. So we'll do that. We'll put in our notch up here. And we'll sit and ink all edges and do stuff like that. So this could go like on the top of the page. Since we tend to put things towards the bottom of our pages, that would be kind of cool. And then have that as a flip out. I kind of like that idea. That's neat. All right, we're going to set that aside. We're going to set that piece aside. We're going to pull over this one. And we're basically going to do the same thing in that for cutting off an angle, except we're going to do it twice. So I think we're going to do it so we've got our pockets being the busy pieces. Now, this needs, let's fold. Yeah, they each need a little sliver cut off. And since this side's the busier side and has lots going on, I'm gonna ink these edges so that we can decide which bits we want to keep, because it doesn't really matter on the insides which bits get kept. This should make sense in a sec, hopefully. All right, so if I cut this way, I'm looking at what's getting cut off and what's staying, and that butterfly will stay. If I cut it this way, I think actually I like that. That'll cut that nice, yeah. Yeah, let's go this way. That then becomes our pocket. And on this side, let's do that again. Again, we're gonna line up this corner to that corner in our trimmer. So that then becomes our pockets. And then we could notch this and glue it down as a wraparound completely. I tend not to, like the one I did, this one, because it was an up tuck, I didn't put a notch in it, but on the side that had the bottom pocket, I did. So it can get glued on like that, or we can leave it for a flip out. So I may just wait and see how I want to use it in whatever journal it's going in. All right, let's pull everybody back and ink all of our edges. And wait inking those because till we glue stuff on. All right, let's start our gluing. Oh wait, I didn't ink this one. All right, now we'll start gluing. So this one's fairly easy. All we have to do is glue the top of here closed. I'm just gonna make sure, yep, no, it's not sticking over the edge. Again, that will go on the page like so as a pocket, and then this can either be glued down as a pocket or be left as a flip out, and probably put like a piece for journaling maybe on there, or another pocket on. That's, you know, I think I'll wait until I put it in a journal and decide then what I'm gonna do. So that one's done. This one, let's go ahead and glue this one. It can either go on like so, or so that one side flips out, or the other side flips out. Or you could glue it down so that this is a side tuck. So you could glue just along the very edge there and have it as a side tuck, or down at the bottom. And I was thinking of doing this so that this was supposed to go differently, wasn't it? It was supposed to be the pocket flipped out. See, you can vary how you do it. Oh well, that's fine. All right, now for this one, we are gonna decide, because we've got this cut off piece too. Let's trim the score line. We've got that still on the edge here, so let's take that off. and decide what pockets we want where. This one I know I want here, and I didn't ink these edges. Let's ink this edge, and let's go ahead and glue down the one we know where we want it to go. Just make sure you're gluing inside the fold lines so that it'll still fold up neatly, and we may need to trim the corner over here off, depending. Let's just nip that off, and then that way you don't have to worry about it. So that will still fold up neatly, and invariably once I start adding pockets it gets a little stiffer. For this, I'm gonna grab out my decal edge blade for my paper trimmer, because I found tearing this paper with the tearing ruler tends to get it a little wrinkly, crinkly, which I don't love. So let's do that. So unfortunately, this is a really old Fisker rotary trimmer that has been discontinued. Because yeah, I love this thing. All right, we're gonna cut this pretty much in half. So since it's 3 inches, we'll do it at 1.5. And there we go, we've got a decal edge. Let's ink our edges. Now, on this side, I kind of like this down there, so we'll do this half, which will get us an up tuck. That works out well. We'll have to ink a different edge on this one. And then this can go on there like so. I might shorten this pocket a little so more of that butterfly shows. Let's take this down to 1.25. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna overhang a little bit. So let's figure out where it's overhanging. Let's just sliver a little off. To give more room when tucking something under, I'm just going to put it along the top of the up tuck. All right, so that goes like that. That goes like that. That goes like that. And it is a little bulky, and I will probably maybe put like a paper clip on. I don't know. When I put it in a journal. So yeah, this one is a little on the bulky side, but it is really kind of cool having it just like come out like that. Cover that off. Let's ink all of the rest of the edges on this one. All right, let me take a sec to clear off some space, and I will show you some ideas where you cut the paper into 4-inch strips. Okay, so for the first one, what we are gonna do is cut a 2-inch strip off the edge of our paper. Then basically we're just gonna fold it in half. So you can go that way and have this be our pocket, or go this way and have this be our little pocket, but then that covers up all of the pretty flowers down there, so we might as well go this way. And I'm just folding it in half. If you want, you can use your scoreboard, but I find it easier to just do that. All right, now I'm gonna mark the center so that I can hopefully get my notch centered. And so this creates a 5-inch pocket. We'll mark it there. I'm gonna grab a 1.5-inch circle punch. Actually, I think I'm gonna go bigger. Go 2 inches. And then for this one, let's use the 1.5-inch. Now we are going to grab paint. I'm trying to decide because I'm thinking I want to do green for our inking of edges. Let's see what this looks like on a piece of scrap paper. A little dark, but I think if we go very lightly, it'll work. And then it's real simple. We're just gonna glue our pocket closed. It's on like so as a pocket. I think I may want to go a little bit more just to help this stand out with the inking. And then when you put it on a page, if you just glue the sides and the bottom, you can have a pocket back here, a pocket here, and then the pocket in the front here. All right, let me go let my dog out since he is desperate to go out. Next is this guy, but I decided I think we're creating unnecessary bulk with the fold overs. So what we're gonna do is cut things off. So we are gonna score 2 pieces at 4 inches and 8 inches. And to make that fit neatly, we are gonna slip our little off. Do that over, and then let's just fold that over. And so on that one I did this gets folded down. And back, and this one gets folded kind of forward. All right. That. Oh, it gets folded. This way. And what I think I may do, we're definitely going to cut this one off because it's just way too much bulk. That not get all of the fold line cut off. That looks better. And I think we're gonna take this whole piece off. And glue it on like that. Then we've got less bulk in there. All right. It will make the pocket slightly smaller, but I'm not bothered by that. I think adding the unnecessary bulk to give me a little bit bigger pocket, not worth it. And then for this one, we'll glue down here and here. That gives us pocket back here, but you can also tuck something in the front in there. That one done, and then for this one, I think we're gonna go like that, like that. We're gonna have this be a pocket on a page. That'll go on the page as a pocket. And then we'll have this as a flip out. Let's see what we've got. Go like that as a pocket on there. Trim this a little bit more because we get jankiness from folding. We've got an up tack on that page, that pocket on this page. I think what I'm gonna do is just grab a piece of coffee dyed paper. All right, let's grab a tearing ruler. First decide how tall of a piece we want. Don't want to cover up the pattern completely. So like maybe we'll go there. I may put like a washi sticker butterfly on when I go to put this in a journal. Just put this on like so. So we've got the flowers peeking around it, and it gives a spot for journaling. There we go. That would go on a page like so, or probably more likely on a page like so. And you can do it in the middle of the page, you could do it at the bottom side of the page, and then you've got all of those fun, interesting bits. Okay, let me clear a little bit of space and gather everything together, and we'll go over what we got done today. Okay, so I did a whole bunch more off camera again. So let's look at them real quick. So yeah, I just did pretty much the same as I had been doing for the other guys. I don't know that I did anything particularly different or interesting with these. Just did a whole bunch of little flip out pockets. So yeah, I got a whole bunch done. So I got all of those guys done. I did a few more of these with the note paper on them. That was supposed to be glued down and I didn't actually glue it down. I'll have to go back and do that. A few more of these style pockets. And this one I put some writing paper on the back. And then a longer one of these. Then I scrap. And then another one of these guys. And then I did a whole bunch more of the crisscross pockets. Oh, and some of the flip out pockets. But I did a variation with the crisscross pockets. And I think I did it on most of them. And basically what I did was, instead of cutting the piece off, I cut corners off, triangles off of these, folded them over and glued them like that. Because on this one, we ended up cutting the piece off and gluing it on. So that's a variation on that, is you just cut the triangles off and then glue. So today what we got done is that pocket. This is a flip out with pockets. We did this style of pocket. Then we did this over the page piece that can also get stuck in a pocket, and it's got a pocket at the back and an up tuck here. We've got this little pocket with a policy closure that has a little pocket down here. We've got the little flip-up writing pad piece. We've got this one that'll go over the page, and you can either glue this down completely and just have it as a flip out, or glue it down to make it a tuck spot so that it goes over the page like this. So this can flip out and you can journal here, and then on this side you can either glue it all the way down or glue it down to be a tuck spot. And then we've got this, which would go over the page as a pocket, and you could glue it on just one side and have it be a flip out. We've got this one that gets glued down as a pocket, and then this whole little thing flips out and you've got pockets. And then we've got this one, which was supposed to be, this part would get glued on the page, but I ended up gluing it down as a pocket. So it would get glued on like so and have the flip out tuck spot. So I would probably do that maybe mid-page so that you have room for something to tuck under here. Like so, and then you can have that be a flip out. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more ideas for ways to use your 12 by 12 paper pads. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.